Hey, hope you're doing well. I want to make a nice little introduction video to our Build-A-Body since this is the big project. So far, this is like your test. Okay. This is showing me everything that you've learned to this point and now applying it. Okay. So we're going to go through some things on here as far as what are the expectations, what should it look like, where can you find everything so that you don't feel lost when you start this project. So, first, let's take a look here. This is what your final is going to sort of look like. And you can be creative and change the color and stuff like that. But this is actually what the Build-A-Body looks like with all the additional features. Such as if I click on here and I drag this, all of a sudden you see words pop up about the respiratory system. Well, that's kind of cool. You have to be able to put the respiratory system in the right spot to earn a point. Okay. If I put it in the wrong spot, you'll see my score goes to -1. That's a bonus feature. All we really needed to do is be able to put the respiratory in the right spot and you get a point. These labels, these are kind of cool too. Put the different objects in the right spot, and when you do that, you've built the body. Now, resetting it, we have a start button for a timer. We have a solution button that puts it all in the right spot. This is what your final piece looks like. You actually don't have to do all this stuff. This is just an example of how to do all the pieces at one time if you want. Okay, now let's actually talk about how you get there. Okay, so Build-A-Body. First thing you have to do is you have to download the file. Remember, you can download it here, or if I go to Google Classroom, under 1.8, introduction, that's this video, you can download the file right here too. Either way, download the file, and then on MIT App Inventor, make sure you go to My Projects, Save Project As, and change the name like mine is. You can see my name is there. You need to do that before you send it to me, so when I'm getting all of these, I know which one's yours. Okay? All right. So, Build-A-Body. We're going to actually be putting everything you've learned to the test. So we're going to be following the design process, stuff that you've learned in other PLTW classes, either with myself or in 6th grade with other teachers. So here's the problem that we are stuck with. So your client is the life science teacher at school. The target consumer is going to be your peers. And the problem is that the middle school life science teacher is describing the anatomy of the human body and wants an engaging, interactive way for the students to learn the different systems and where they're located. The statement is that you're going to design, build, and test an app called the Build-A-Body app that features a drag and drop activity that will help students practice placing organs and body systems in the right location of the body. So these are the things that are included that you must do. I do have this document on Google Classroom if you really want to check it out right here. This is the requirements as well. The cool thing about the requirements is that just by downloading the file that we just looked at, you've already accomplished two things. Include an outline of the human body and include at least the minimum 4 systems. Outline of the body, 1, 2, 3, 4 systems. So nice job. You've already gotten 2 things done by downloading the file. Now here are the other things that have to be done. 1, you have to allow users to drag the organ systems with their fingers. So you have to be able to click on an object and drag it around. That's a must. Okay? The other must here is that if a user does not drag the system into the proper spot, it's going to put the organ automatically back into the original location. If it is correct, it's going to lock in place. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, that means if I move the brain and I let go, it sends it right back to the original spot. But if I put the brain up on the dot and I try to click it again, it's not moving. Okay, so that's a requirement that you must have. Then you have to include, and you have to be able to give a point. So as you can see down here on the score, I gained a point because I did it correctly. There has to be a reset button included that resets the score to 0 and returns the organs all to its original location. So on my reset button, when I click reset, everything goes back, the score is set to 0. That's the basics. Now, and beyond that, I'm going to say, it says 1 here, but I want you to do 2. To get full credit, you have to do 2. To get partial credit, you have to do 1 additional feature. So here's how it works. One of the additional features is to decrement the score when the organ is not put in the right location. That means that if I put the brain in the wrong spot, it goes to -1 point. That's one of the additional features. To include a timer that counts down 30 seconds and it gets to 0. So when it gets to 0, it stops, just like the Germ Guide app. So that's here. When I click start, timer counts down. Okay, when it gets to 0, then that means that I did it properly and it should stop at 0, but we're not going to watch that for the whole time. The other additional feature you could do is include a solution button that when the organs are put in the right spot, they're locked in there and you can check them out. So again, if I click solution, see the timer's still going, that's okay. They're all in the right location. If I try to move them, oops, I must have missed that. If I try to move them, they shouldn't be able to move. Timer hit 0, we're good. And then the other thing is to display the description. So that's the description pieces you see here when you click on these. That's an additional feature. And these are all different each time you click on a different system. Okay. So those are all the pieces. You could do all of them if you want, but you don't have to. You have to do at least 2 additional features. Okay. So to keep yourself organized with all this information, I've created an event handler for you, which is on Google Classroom. So the event handler tells you exactly what you need to do to make everything work the way it's supposed to. Now, of course, it's writing it here in these descriptions that you then have to code yourself. But to help you out, the things that are required, the dragging, lifting the finger, and all these things, I actually have a video here for you that I'm going to want you to watch. It's the Build a Body Helpful Start. That's going to get you going to get most of the required stuff completed. Now, here's the thing I do about the video and then I did with the event handler. I made all this information just about the brain. And here's why. If you can get the brain to work, you can copy and paste the other items to get them to go in there. Now, this is a project. It's a test. I'm trying to see how well you can do on your own. And don't think that you're completely on your own. You can always meet up with me during the Google Meets. I'm always on again from 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. I'm willing to help you guys at that time. If you're a late worker, just email me what could work and when you need to meet, and we'll see where we can get our schedules hooked up. This is one of those things where you could hook up with friends online and work on this and help each other out. But again, I have a video that introduces how to do this right here, and I'm going to encourage you guys to watch that video in your learning schedule. So when you click on the learning schedule, it's going to talk about go here, go here, go here. Once everything's completely done, you then have to email me your file like normal. Make sure your file, just like here, has your name included. Okay. And then the other thing that you have to do is you also have to complete the conclusion questions. There's like 2 questions that you need to do. Okay. So that's how you're going to build it. So you're going to use the App Inventor. You're going to explore. You're going to use everything. This is all this is saying. You're going to use everything that you've learned so far. You don't have to do the event handler. I already helped you with that. You're just going to build and test it. You don't even have to worry about these things, but I will explain the X and Y coordinates in the video. It's like the stuff you learn in Germ Guide or Germ Game, Game Time, to be able to move stuff on the screen. So you don't have to worry about all this stuff, but do know that this is here in case you want to use this as a resource. Here's your conclusion questions. But basically, you just have to make sure you meet the requirements that are listed here in the requirements and the criteria to get your app to work. Remember, in the video that I'm going to show you when you watch it, it's the helpful hints to do the basic things to get the brain to work. Let's go back here. Just to get that. The other ones will basically be if you can get the brain to work, the others follow suit. And I'll show you in my blocks. So here's the brain part. I set up the brain dot dragged so that it can move around. I set up the brain touch up with all the additional features. So this is everything to make it work. And then once I got that to work, basically it was copy and paste and change a couple little things here and there. And now I had the respiratory system. I took the brain, I copy and pasted it, And I just changed a couple little things like the names here, and I was able to get it to work. And then I copy and pasted and changed urinary system and a couple different things on here, and I got it to work. You're going to have to set up all the initial globalizations so we know when we look at the original digestive system or original brain placement, we know where these things are supposed to sit, which is right here on the screen. I will tell you, you're going to have to change a couple of numbers to make it look this good. Some of it may not line up perfectly. The program did it this way to test you, to make you look for the right coordinates. Okay, so that's what your final project is going to be. You're going to have to turn that in along with the conclusion questions. Again, I'm here for you. I'm willing to help you. All you got to do is come see me at the right times or work with me. It doesn't really work if all you do is try to email back and forth. A couple little things, maybe. But this is one of those things where you're probably going to want to come see me. Okay? That's it. Good luck with this project. I'm going to give you basically an entire week to work on this so that you can try to do your best at it. And then looking at our schedule for the rest of the quarter, we're probably going to have a couple little apps to work on, and then your final project, which is building your own app using the knowledge that you've learned so far. So that's all I got for you today. I want you to start, obviously, by watching this video, and then you're going to be able to go watch the other video to see how you can get started. Okay, good luck.